I call this. You roll call? Here.
Contia, here. Veronica, here. CT, here. Meeting,
Here.
Jin Chuan, here. Iris, here. Ronnie,
Here.
Darga, here. Brian,
Here.
Lauren, here. Dad,
Here.
Ming So, here. Dad,
Here.
Wendy, here. Joshua,
Here.
Vincent,
Here.
Eddie,
Here.
Dan. Dan?
Here.
Yeah. Victor.
Here.
Fatima. Here. Anish.
Here.
Yamin.
Here.
Beth.
Here.
Matsuko. Here. Julio. Here. Master. Here. And we have a new Peter rep. Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of October 2nd, 2024?
I move to approve the minutes of June 12th.
Well, not June 12th, but October 2nd.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
October.
October 2nd.
Yeah.
Is it?
Like from.
Yeah, let me on the.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
It's from the line. Okay. Yeah. Well, I have an approval of minutes for June 12th, 2024.
I move to approve the minutes from June 12th, 2024.
Does anybody second? Okay, are there any objections? Okay. We'll talk a little bit about it. Well, all in favor, just say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, sounds good. The minutes for June 12th, 2024. Is that? Yes. Are there any public comments? Eddie?
I'll be leaving at the end of the fall, so I would appreciate if you guys could advertise that we're gonna have a midterm election. In your meeting, in committee meeting.
Any other public comments?
We want to do the Saturday, how about,
So for Saturday, if you haven't signed up yet, go to Discord and sign up, for your fill out. And for other students, it's technically about better work out. It's tomorrow at noon, because for students.
Any other public comments? Okay, moving on. Are there any advisor announcements?
Well, I just want to welcome you all to your first Senate meeting, so yay! That's wonderful, we got a full house here, so I don't really have anything to make announcement. I just wanted to, welcome all of you in. Also, it's Middleton's birthday today, so can we just very quickly sing happy birthday to her? Very quickly, okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Kidding, so that's why I wanted to do the birthday now, so that's all I got.
I'll make a quick one. I'm gonna be stepping out and being in the meeting through Zoom. But I did also just wanna, add on to welcome to fall quarter, first meeting, very exciting. I did just wanna give a little, housekeeping reminder. So the meeting owl in this thing in the middle, right? It is the camera microphone for this meeting. It is doing a lot of the work, but you will need to also project. So this level of volume and clarity is maybe a model for you to try to use. So for those of you in the back, and then those of you out there, right, if you have something, we'll, if needed, we might repeat, but for senators especially that are sitting out in that corner, if the couches aren't picking it up, then I'm not picking it up if I'm online. I've shared before, I'm deaf and hard of hearing, so we actually have, I have a live captioner who's helping, but they're here online through Skype, so we're really depending on not just the meeting out, but all of you project again, public, speaking practice as well. That I'll be here till like 5 in the Zoom. But yeah, first meeting.
For all of you, I just want to let you know, I know it just started the quarter, but I actually will be on vacation next week. So anybody that I typically marketing programs and ES that I marketing will be at your meetings, I will be absent next week. So if there's anything that you need from me today through Friday, I will be in the office. So just reach out to me. Or if there's something that comes up in your meetings, you can reach out to another advisor for assistance. Thank you.
Any other advisor now?
I'll just say also, welcome everybody to the first meeting of the year, for the new term. And I'm sure everyone will be great. We'll have a very good time.
Any other advisor? Are there any Senate announcements? Or,
Okay, so for the shared governance, if you are not hearing from your shared governance, I already contacted them, but they also didn't get back to me. So I would appreciate if you guys email them and be like, hi, I'm your DASG representative. Like, I would love to know who's my mentor. Also, second option is that you can search your shared governance into the website, and they'll have the Zoom meetings, Zoom links, and the meeting agenda as well. So you can just join it like right away yourself. All right, that was it.
Yes, just a quick follow-up. The Zoom link may or may not be online. Unfortunately, I'm actually getting communication with my team about that. But if you do have any issues, just email us. Or if you know who the chair is, it's listed on the website, contact us directly.
are there any other Senate announcements? No? Okay. Are there any student trustee announcements?
Yeah, so the Pacific Coast Farmers Market Association is to serve as the new contractor to manage the weekly farmers market. And we are converting the existing softball facility to beach volleyball with adding 6 new sand courts. And the board decided to reallocate Measure G funds that had been previously reserved for construction of a new event center and services for students building on the Flint Center site where the building is being demolished. And we're also in the process of establishing a new Foothold Bonanza digital center for innovation, transformation, and equity to support strategic direction, teaching, and learning for AI. That's all.
Are there any external shared governance committee reports? Or
Can you give me 1 second?
Katya?
The Equity Action Council literally just met 2:30 to 4 today. They set up the kind of goal direction of the charge or like what we're gonna do as a council, as well as went over the student equity plan reimagined, and like the student success factors, that type of thing. A big thing that was discussed was NCORE, which is an event that is happening in New York this year. So you'll hear about that. And potentially sending DASG people and advocacy on or program reps to that conference. And then also Joe Agostino, who's the football coach, shared with us that this past week there was an incident where financial aid fraud stopped about 700 students from getting financial aid, which affected their sports and I guess status as a student. And this seemed like it was specifically targeted, or it seems to target disproportionately impacted students specifically because, one example he gave was an African American last name was flagged as being possibly fraudulent just because of spelling. And hence that student like basically had to pay for their whatever $1,000 of schooling. And so it's just something that we wanted to be made aware. And that although financial aid fraud is like an issue that the end of the college needs to protect against, because, you know, we don't want to be dishing out millions of dollars to fraudulent or bought students. It can still cause harm to those who really need that financial aid. So as far as what we can do on our end is for marketing, and telling students to really check their financial aid email, and make sure that their communication with the school is providing, I guess, they're on top of that community. So, yeah.
Are there any other external shared governance committee reports?
So RAP met yesterday and we went over the introduction of the new members and examining the goal and mission of RAP. I would also highly recommend everyone to go on the RAP homepage and just like go over the important dates and the timeline of how RAP works. It's like just good information for you to know. We also had an emergency request for librarian positions since enrollment actually went up and now we're above like 5,000 full-time enrolled students. So when that happens, you're supposed to have at least 5 librarians. We had 4 because previously we were below 5,000 and now one of them retired, so they needed more librarians to like staff it according to state law. So we approved that position. There's also a RAP training for all public members coming up on Friday. I'll send the timings and the meeting link in the Discord. So if anyone is interested, you should join. It's just like good knowledge.
Okay, Laura?
So for the Measure G task force, there's gonna be 30 million initial budget from the Measure G budget for the new Creative Arts building. The new Creative Arts building will be smaller than before and it will be located in the Flint Center after the Flint Center being demolished. And there is a possibility of a new utility building and the A-Quad, which is the current location for the Creative Arts, will be the new services for students building.
Yeah, so the district budget advisory committee met a few weeks ago. So we have a projected net income of 0.83 billion for the 2024 and 2025 adopted budget for the district. We have 2 years left to close the Hope Harmless gap, which is basically our funding will remain the same until we get enough full-time equivalent students to, you know, break that gap, break that limit. And we also a COLA of 1.07% was included in the finalized adopted budget. That will be all.
Great. Are there any other external shared governance committee reports? Ryan?
Curriculum committee met yesterday, mainly just, academic senate has approved the new DASG GD pattern, which means that less coursework will be required for students to like transfer and get degrees. And also there were updates on like implementation of AP 411 common course numbering at IANSA, which means that classes such as UR 1A, UR 2, and other stuff like that will have the same number across all community colleges in California. That's about it.
Are there any other or external shared governance committee reports? Okay, are there any internal DHG committee reports?
Just a quick thing, finance has redesigned the budget request form. And we're like, just like planning to also like make like the other forms better too, so yeah. Just for all the committees to know that your job will be.
I see the consent calendar is empty. Does that mean we have to approve anything or? Empty. Well, now we're moving on to the first business item. This is a presentation by Jory, Cheen, James, and Yotti. I apologize if I might have missaid your name, but this is a presentation about a new interface with my portal and some of the changes. So if I could have those 4 individuals, please come up to present, either on Zoom or in person. Jyoti or
Yes.
Sheen?
So can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. There's a bit of an echo, but,
It's George.
should I mute?
Yes. Does anyone else have their sound on? You need to mute, if that's the case. Make sure all your sound is muted.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
I think I need to,
Are they with anyone with sound on?
Are any of you in the same room perhaps at the district?
so somehow our phone is mute. You unmute our phone. The one with 1650.
The 650 song. Call.
Is this the 650 number?
Yes.
Um, All we can do is ask the person to mute. But we can't force it to mute.
Okay. Is that better?
This is better. Yeah, this works.
Okay. All right, let me share the screen first. Is that something? Okay. Okay, my name is James Wu. I'm the Senior Application Support Analyst at ETS. With me today, my boss, Hassan. Good afternoon. And Jyoti, want to what feel about yourself?
Yes, my name is Jyoti and I work here as a senior project analyst.
Yeah, so we've been working on the project is to revamp the current My Portal. I think you guys been using the My Portal to do the registration and do go through the canvas and a lot of things there. So I have the initiative that I want to upgrade it just for the ease of maintenance. Also, we're doing that process. We try to make the UI more vibrant, more intelligent, and more up to date. So thank you for this opportunity for us to present you today, and hope you guys can be a champion and promote this initiative for us. So can you see my PowerPoint?
We can see it.
Yep. Okay. So basically, we have a platform called Evolution Experience, and it has been adopted by a lot of colleges, and it can bring together a lot of integration for various applications. And largely, it follows similar framework as the current My Portal, and while all the single sign-on framework, it's a role-based access control. And platform-wise, it's similar and a lot more stable. And but in terms of UI, it has some change. Right? It's for better, for worse. And you can see for today's presentation, I can show you that the UI is going to be more modern, more vibrant. And it's going to be the thing going to be based on the colleges. So basically, for the Enza, you would see your Enza thing, and Foothill would see a Foothill thing. I'm working for the district, I'll get a different thing for my UI. So all the UI look and feel and what you can access all based on your current roles. And there's some benefits. Current My Portal has some of the links that we cannot support deep links. With the new platform, we can support deep links. So that probably helpful for our college website, and some of the items they can just point directly to the My Portal. And also, if you have some events you wanna reference My Portal, it's possible now. We expect to launch this new UI in October 23rd, and the reason we chose this time is we kind of wanna the term started, everyone goes through registration and then kind of settle down a little bit, then we'll switch to the new UIs. And so we don't get a lot of big surprise. And after we launch the new UI, we're gonna keep the old UI coexist for a couple months. Or we haven't decided how long, probably at least we're gonna stay there for 3 months. So we're gonna show you that very quickly, that if people say, oh, I'm very confused about new UI, I can't find the things where it used to be, and it's a quick link for you to go back to the old world. So, and let me, instead of going to the PowerPoint, I can just show you the application itself. So here is let me make it bigger. Okay. So when you sign in, that's gonna be the new UI. The new My Portal, the old one, is based on a lot of tiles, little small tiles. You click on the tiles, expand it to a full page. This new platform that they provide to us is based on cards. So you got some information and links on the cards. You can click on the link on the card, you can expand it. Right, so it will be sent to a page. So pretty much similar, but just I used to be a little tile. Now you see a lot of cards. Let me show you how you navigate this. There's a hamburger bar on the upper left-hand corner. So you click on this, it will open the navigation panel. So there's a home page. Discover basically let you find additional cards on the home page. And we also provide this quick access. So you can go to registration just with one click away, or you can look at the class schedules, just go to the quick access. Or you want to go to I mentioned that you want to go back to the original one, you can just click on back to my portal. You go to the classic one, basically the existing one. And I'm a staff, so I have additional tools here, but so it's all role-based access control. And also based on your roles, you can see the different categories, and the all user basically contain all the cards that accessible by all the users. Or we can go to, say, if I go to the students, I will see all the cards that are commonly used by for my class. And because I'm registered to be a Full Hill student right now, so you can see I'm background is Full Hill College. When you log in, you're gonna see the DASG College, and also have this academic calendars. This card supports both Full Hill and DASG content, but it's all based on role. Since I'm a Full Hill student, by default, it highlighted to be Full Hill. But in your case, it's going to be highlighted to be DASG. So you happen to be both. It's just gonna be the pick one of them. So you have, and let me go back to navigations, and you have there's a registration link that takes you to the registration card right away. Okay. And also, if you want to find certain items, you can just go to there's a discover link. You come here, you basically can do the search. So the one of people that complain that the search not that obvious, is not on the home page. You have to go to discover and to find it. So once you get there, you should be able to find things very quickly. So for example, I need Adobe phone, it will auto complete it for you. It will narrow down to the Adobe phones. And during that process, we also upgrade some of the applications. So this is in Adobe phone, you basically have this new UI. Okay, and further on, there's some resource here. Basically, the link say getting started guide. I hope this UI is obvious enough, so you don't need to go through read through that. But it's pretty has some detail how you get started. And also we expect some item you might not like it or you want improvement, and we'll provide a user feedback form. Click on user feedback form, you can just enter, say, it's hard for me to find certain things, you can give us feedback. We really appreciate it. Yeah. So that's basic part about how to do the navigations. And I mentioned about also this announcement have been changed. When you sign in, right now you see a lot of colored announcements. But for this new one and the platform, they suggest us to just put a little kind of a Twitter type of announcement on the top. This one you can it's not right now I can display 4 announcements at most, but it's not limited to 4. Suppose I pull out a lot of announcements, it's going to be scroll up, right and left. So as I mentioned that during at the beginning period, we worry that people say I want to quickly do a registration, but I can't find it right now. You can basically click on one link. It will take you back to your familiar words there. And also, college, the marketing department, they can say they can have a feature announcement. So this one, we limit to be 1 each college. So Foothill will limit to be 1 feature announcement, and DASG will have another feature announcement. So you are DASG student, you only see DASG announcement. If you are both DASG student and Foothill student, you're gonna see 2 feature announcements. Okay, and so most of our cards going to be look like this, right? And basically, a card basically contain links. Like for example, like academic calendar, I have a Foothill. I can go to DASG calendars. I click on it, open to this page, right? Or if I go click on Canvas, I go to it will take me to the Canvas. So, and some of them will expand into page. For example, let me try to find if I want to see my class schedule, I go to this class schedule. I have a demo version. So if I just I'm a student, basically I will see this drop down for me to switch to different terms. It will show me my classes. And once you go into the page mode to go back, I had to click on this hamburger bar to go back. And there's some additional items provided by the vendor, like a degree progress. So it will show you the percentage of degree progress. I didn't make much progress, 4% right now. I'm working on it. So, and basically the stuff that you're familiar with, you'll be there, like student registration that I mentioned earlier. It'll be similar content, just be more the UI is more more simple, right? Basically, the UI they want to address the accessibility. They try to keep it simple and clear. So like I say, this some page just go to another website, and some place they just expand into a page. Also, I just want to show you this bill payment. Bill payment. Right, so it will show you that how much balance I owe right now. I can go to the pay now. It will basically let me to do the pay and get a refund request or payment plan. And my statement will be shown up right here, so you can go back to look at your history. So that's pretty much my presentation for this. You guys have any questions?
What is your, is there another part, or is this the end of your part, your presentation?
Yeah, this is pretty much my presentation, so.
Okay. Well, I guess, one thing I didn't hear is, when people find something that they're looking for that they, didn't see on their home screen, can you demonstrate, bookmarking and then also rearranging?
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So let me show you how to rearrange this home page. I think I missed that part. So basically, the item that you like, you can put it on the home page, right? Or at the beginning, you see some of the cards on your home page. You can say, I don't use that often. I can release it. For example, orientation, after that, I can release it. I just click on the upper right-hand corner, you will let it release it. You will basically say, I'll remove from the home page, right? And student guide, I can click on it, and I can release it. And this card, if I want it to go out further, I can say, moving backwards. I can use that link here. Or I can just simply drag it to the place. And there are two cards we call locked, right? I mentioned these two gonna hold that prominent position. They're not gonna go away. So basically, all the cards, if I want to move up early, so I can access easier, I can basically drag and drop into the right place. Once you stay, you will remember the position. So next time when I come into my home page, it should stay there. Okay. And the second question that you mentioned about how do we bookmark this? For example, say this e-print, right? Say this page I want to refer into my email or the website. I can basically just copy and paste this link. So this link this page link we're gonna honor that. So you go to another browser or create a new tab. You paste that link. Right? Imagine I'm open our email and people send me this link. I click on it. It display that page right away. And provided that you've been signing in.
Thank you, James. No, what I was talking about was, so if you look for something that's not on your home page in the Discover tab or section, for example, how do you then add something to your home page?
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, yeah, this thing, once you use a while, you forgot what people used to do. Yeah, so example, I go to the Discover, right? So, and some of the cards, for example, academic plan, right? So Right now, it's not, you see, it's not highlighted. That means it's not my favorite car. So I can say, I want to see this one when I'm signing. I just click on this one. It will keep it in the home screen. And this one, if I unclick it, right, basically you will remove from my home page. So I can scroll down, I can find additional car. For example, I use email a lot. I can say, this should be in the home page. Let me just click on it and it will stay in the home page. Right, so now I go back and to my home. The two cars that I just click, it will keep it, you put it at the top of the home screen. And then I can say, this is important, but I don't want to see this that often. I can just move it to another location. So once you move, you remember the space.
Yes, so if I'm enrolled in both Foothill and De Anza, does this serve as a common portal for both, or do I have to switch between both of them?
So by default, this will be highlighted, right? Because right now, I say since because I registered the Foothill class, my Foothill will be selected by default. So if you De Anza student, the De Anza will be highlighted. You can switch, but by default will show you the De Anza one.
How though? Like, how does this switch in?
What he was asking is, are there different portals for each college, or is it one college or one portal regardless of which college you're at?
The latter, right. This is basically one portal for both. So both, just like currently you type, whether you are De Anza or Foothill, you type myportal.fhca.edu, it will come into the same portal. And the portal, whether the background, this is we call theme, and this logo is based on your current role.
So if I'm enrolled in both, what would the logo be?
Primary campus is kind of a hidden thing. It basically, essentially, like which one we first signed up for, usually. And I think it can be changed, but it requires a little bit of work. But I think that's how it does it, correct, James? So if you're enrolled in both, you'll just use your primary campus to show the background.
So if you have both, we show you the district background.
Oh, the district.
You see both. You see parts belong to both college, but the thing gonna be the district. So let me show you the district logo, what it looks like. So you see this district background. So you sign out to be both. The car belong to Foothill and De Anza will both show up here.
James, can you please go back to the earlier one, the Foothill one?
Okay.
Scroll down a little, please. I submitted a feedback form about this, but it's possible because it's just still being finalized. But what I had submitted was that currently some things aren't saving, things keep popping back up or whatever, or the things you move around don't stay in the place you put them. But again, that might just be because you're still working on it. But I noticed, for example, student guide and student orientation are back on the homepage even though you're doing them. So that's the kind of thing I was referring to when I submitted a feedback.
Yeah, we saw that feedback. We've been investigating that, and we got an answer from the vendor. He said they have a bug, and they told us how to prevent it from happening. So he said certain operation, he said because it's basically they have a bug, and he told us how to avoid happening again. So let me know if we try this happen again. We understand the root cause, and we're gonna avoid doing that. And also gonna have a meeting with the vendor next week. We're gonna check with how soon they can roll out a patch. So for now, we just avoid a certain operation. I hope this won't happen. Yeah.
What's the Senate's general thoughts, feelings, any questions you guys might have? Yes.
I really like it. I think, visually, it's, you know, if I were the new incoming student, visually it's very pleasing, it's very easy to access in a way. I know it could seem really complicated from how he's explaining it, but I think it's for the best, and I really just like that's the way it turned out.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing as other people. I think, the squares, there's like a lot of information and so it can be like overwhelming. And so I was wondering if like, is there like a toggle to like make it into like a list view instead of just having the squares?
James, did you catch that?
No, can you repeat
No,
the
could you
question?
please rephrase? Yeah.
Yeah, is there a way you're able to switch from tiles to like a list, so things are
Cards. So the old system
Yeah,
used
okay.
tiles, the new one
Well,
uses cards.
switch from the cards to a list? So it's easier to access all the different items?
So this thing is actually mobile accessible, so this happen to be on the smaller device. Let me see if I can switch to a smaller device. What? I can't see. Is it here? What's that? Oh, here. All right, so suppose, hold on, let me try it. Right, so if you happen on the mobile device, it go like this kind, like the smaller car, if you will, yeah.
To make a screen width smaller.
Yeah, so, yeah. So in general, he just like you to, I think, after a while, you realize it could, yeah. It's basically dominated by the cards, yeah.
Did that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, and can you do the same thing for like a laptop or is it just for the phone?
Can you I mean, we probably because the distance, we can't hear clearly, yeah.
James, what he's asking is there any way to change that, you know, make that setting or toggle perhaps? So that whatever size screen a student is on, even if they're on a laptop, it would just show, you know, the title and then they click on the card to make it look bigger? Or is it just only based on screen size and there's no way to toggle it?
It is responsive, so if you make it smaller, it will reduce, say, it becomes instead of 4 cards, you put 3 cards. So, yeah, so it's just, we try on many different screen size, you'll behaves well. So.
I think that answers the question somewhat. Ariel, do you have a?
I do have a question. I have a question about the design in terms of accessibility. Is there anything within, I'm not sure if it was already covered, but is there anything within the design itself that helps students with visual impairments?
Yeah, it definitely, with this in mind, so basically, most of the items, people just, suppose you use keyboard, you can basically, you will click to all the links, right? And we try to have a tool to check for accessibility, and when we find issue, we try to resolve it. So most of them, you can see is the links behave very well. I can click on this, hit return, it opens the page. And also the color scheme, we keep it simple, right? Make sure it's contrasted properly. Yeah, so I won't say it's 100%, but definitely it's up there. So.
I have another question. My other thought is there's a lot of students across Foothill and Deanza where English may not be their first language. In terms of the accessibility as well, is there a way to toggle it to where it matches their native language or the language they're more comfortable with?
Yeah, that's a good feedback. We
Yeah,
definitely can, but not in the current plan, yeah. So
yeah,
the current version is English
it's
only,
English only.
yeah. So we definitely can talk to the vendor and see.
I'm good.
So when is like the estimated date that this will be implemented?
Is the current day we target day is the October 23rd?
Yes, October 23rd.
And,
So when you log
what-
into my portal.fhda.edu, you will see the the new portal landing page.
And is there like a place where students can write any feedback they have? Or they might.
There's a couple places in probably early on and before the launch day, we will put the link in the current My Portal. And also once it's been launched, under the resource, there's a feedback form. So click on here, you can provide in your feedback, hopefully positive. Yeah, any enhancement requests, you can use this form to tell us. So we will definitely, Josie definitely look at it very actively. So we also try to, yeah. So some of the issue that people report so far, I think the faculty and staff have been using this. Some issue we have been resolved. So what kind of your feedback then? Yeah.
Okay, that is time, that is 30 minutes. If we want to continue discussing, I need a motion to extend the time of the business item. Does anyone have a motion that's suitable?
I motion to expand the time to like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Does anybody second? Ronnie? Should we do the all in favor say aye? Okay. All opposed say aye? Nay. All opposed say nay. Okay, so then you have another 5 more minutes, James.
Okay. So Jody, you want to add something that I missed?
Oh, I think you mentioned everything. The only thing is about the feedback. Yes, so if something does not work or you have some enhancements or some suggestions, please feel free to fill the user feedback form.
Yeah,
Yes, and another way, and if you want to go to the current portal, then you can go to the Discover and type in Classic or just My Portal, and My Portal will show up. The My Portal card. Just in case. So I can just show
we
you.
have some more questions that we all would like to answer.
So, yeah, so if you go here and if you go to Discover, and if you want to go to the current portal, then you can just type in Portal or My Portal. Yeah, and you will see in the drop down the Classic My Portal. You just select that and this is where, and you click here and it'll go back to My Portal. So you still have access. It will be available for the next 3 months, as James mentioned.
So on this current My Portal, on like the hello page, there's announcements and like messages from the school that you see when you open My Portal. Where will they be on the new one?
Yeah, so you talk about this Explore New My Portal experience, right? We probably talk about.
Announcements
Yes.
and messages.
So yes, that's a good, so I think in a few days, when you log into My Portal, there will be a banner out here that will be open for students as well. So you can probably just play with it by clicking on the link, and also you can give your feedback here as well.
No, but can you please go back to the new portal?
New portal.
Yeah, the tab with the new portal. Go to the home page, please. You know, so they were asking where the announcements and messages will be on the new portal. So they mentioned that there will be a featured announcement for one from each college. And then there's also the messages card. So that's where they will be in the new portal. And then I think, you said something about up to 4 cards can also be put at the top or something. I didn't quite catch that one. That's new.
So some of them, for example, right now I only have over here, you see the one say, hashtag my portal, this is the announcement. So let me quickly, suppose, let me play with it a little bit. Suppose someone, the college say, I want to make announcement, they can come here. And for example, they can go to this one. That's basically what they need to do. So I suppose I make it.
Super.
So it's role-based control. They can say, address this message to student or faculty. And once they suppose now I have 2, if I go back to home, I probably wasn't.
Saving the.
No, I probably wasn't in the group.
Okay, yeah. Here students.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, I just want to make sure that I have all, was that question answered?
So it's gonna be in the top left corner where that little box was?
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
in the box at the top.
Okay.
You'd
And then under
be
there was
here.
featured announcements on the messages box as well.
Okay.
Are there any other questions that anybody has? Any other thoughts or feelings that the Senate might have? Rami's at. Okay. I think that's it then. Thank you very much for presenting this item. I think, yeah, thank you very much.
No, thank you for having us. Hey,
Okay, we're gonna move on to we'll move on to the next business item. This is a new voting process for the DHG Senate, and this will be presented by Dennis.
So just a brief history, but we're not gonna be able to do demonstrations today. There were some glitches that I'm working out with the vendor. But in order to make meetings go more smoothly, at least whenever we have to do a roll call vote or anything like that, where more specificity is required. So you may remember from the training, you know, I and Ming and some of those kind of things are allowable. But if there's ever a time when we have to do a roll call where it's not clear for the ayes and nays and so on. We used to use before the pandemic, a system that used a little receiver that plugged into the USB port on the computer at the front. And we had these little keypads for everyone. I don't even know where those are right now. Most of our keypad stuff working anyway. But the newer version of the software or the system, also because of the pandemic and so on, has been updated. They now allow for things like online voting or even hybrid, you know, keypad and online. So we're going to be using that. We'll just be using the online function, no keypads. Since that is an available option now, that wasn't there before. And so whenever it's necessary and we need to, you know, instead of spending 5 minutes calling out all the names and doing all that, we'll be able to use that system for voting.
So that's it. No. Are there any questions?
There'll be a demonstration at the next meeting.
Yeah, hopefully next meeting, yes.
So should I table the item or should I?
I present it, so. Okay. Unless there's any questions, you don't have to wait the full, whatever it was. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Are there no other questions? Okay, moving on to the third business item. This is about the DHG lounge / office cleanup and like a.
All right, talk about garbage. Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you. I haven't been in there in the last couple of days, but I was there last week and it looks so much better. And I have to apologize because that stuff that was in there has been there since I've been here for over the last 7 years. And I think what happens is, as you know, you all turn over almost every 1 or 2 years. We have very few that stick around for a second year. What happens is, and then we also had COVID. I think people leave things there and then you come in, you're like, I don't know if we're supposed to throw this away. Maybe it's important for somebody. So we just need to clean everything out of there. So I'm okay, you all making those judgments, like, I don't know what this is, maybe ask a few people, if it looks like it's ICC stuff, ask ICC, if no one claims it, just dump it. So we did have custodial come through and, dump some stuff. We're working, Aura, myself and Dennis, has already put in requests to move that clunky copier. That's gonna take a little bit longer. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks. It's a whole process because we have to make sure that facilities, they have a schedule, so somebody's gotta pick it up and all that good stuff. So that will be removed soon. And including some other, like the water dispenser that who knows how long that's been there. The big pillow will remain. Anything you want to stay will stay, okay? We've also made some changes, I think you all know, because we need to, release the ICC executive office that's right here in the hallway. That's gonna become a professional staff office. Not sure who's going to fill in, but we do need to, be ready for when we have that new staff come on board, because as you all know, I have a new position and, there's gonna be kind of a domino effect. So, thank you, DSAG, for giving the executive office, that used to be the executive office for DSAG, to ICC. So ICC execs, you will now be inside. It's no longer just the DSAG lounge, it is the DSAG ICC lounge. So, so ICC folks, you all need to go in there and clean it out. Okay, DSAG folks have cleaned most of it. They want you to go in there and clean out whatever stuff you want to keep and take everything else out. Once we've kind of established all that, we have put in a work request to have the carpets deep cleaned, because I don't know when the last time it's been deep cleaned, so it's nice and clean. They'll go in there and clean down and wipe down the windows and all that good stuff. We see your hand, Dennis.
Yeah, I guess I'll be thinking, we didn't think about this before, but I suppose ICC should also do the same kind of thing. And then just use the trash cans that are in DHQ right now and clean out their office before they move over.
Yeah.
And then you're not moving trash over from one.
Yeah,
to the
so
other.
I would clean the new space first and then bring your stuff from your office now into that space. And then we just have to, there's no real rush in that, but the sooner you set your stuff up, the easier it'll be for you to kind of have a working space. We are still trying to figure out kind of how you all want to use this space. So this year, I want you all to kind of feel out the space and kind of figure out, well, could we do something with this corner of the room? As you know, there's a lot of open space that's kind of like not really committed space to anyone or anything. And so it's kind of a funky kind of space. So we want you to kind of figure out how do you want to best utilize this space? We also have mentors at De Anza, so they are going to occupy, so when you're walking into the DSAG office, like you're going to the executive, which is now the ICC executive office, there's that desk, and it has kind of that divider, but it's kind of an open, you know what I'm talking about? It's right up against one of the closets. We're thinking that we want to give, I don't know, do we have anybody here, mentors at De Anza? I know some of you, okay, we're gonna give you that space. And so we've already spoke with some of our facilities folks. If you want more privacy, they can come bring in like a divider that you can open if you want it to be open and closed so you can have a little bit more privacy. And then that storage closet will be dedicated space for you all. Okay, so that's what we were thinking over there. I know, in speaking with Auras, those closets are still filled with stuff. The ones when you walk in to the left, I know in the past, like ES has kind of, claimed it, and some of the other committees. So you all just work it out. If you want to keep ES stuff in there, then TPS stuff in there. We do want to make it look a little bit more professional. I know, someone went around with label makers and started sticking stuff everywhere. We want to kind of peel those off, like the name, I mean, I recognize the names from like 5, 6 years ago, so just peel it off. We want to make use of that lockers, all those lockers, so they do work. You just have to bring your own locker if you actually want to like lock it, okay? But what we want to do is, we're gonna purchase these little name label things that either like with a magnet, and then that way we can switch out the names every year. But that way you all will have your own designated locker, okay? So you can put stuff in there if you want. They're not very big, so if you got a big backpack, I don't even know if a big backpack will fit in, but you know, if you have stuff you don't want to carry around all day, then you can leave it in there. And it's kind of, you know, don't leave any valuables because we're not gonna be responsible for lost personal items, okay? And then all those kind of open cabinet kind of spaces, I think it looks like you've all kind of claimed your space. So claim your space, and I don't think there was any kind of like order in which you're supposed to, like, you know, by alphabetical, you know, alphabetical names or anything like that. I mean, it's all kind of left up to you. What we're gonna also get are kind of like these name, like little name labels, so that again, every year we can go ahead, we will type them out and make sure it all looks very professional so that everybody kind of can claim their own little storage space. And then as far as how you all want to utilize the tables in there, it's just kind of left up to however you want to do it. But make it your own, okay? Personalize it, bring pictures, whatever you want. The important thing is, once it's all clean, we got to maintain its cleanliness, okay? So if you're gonna bring food, make sure that you clean up after yourself. We don't want, we have cockroach, or not, what are they, little roaches, little crickets or whatever, or cockroaches. It's kind of gross. So if you leave food behind, they're very attracted to food. So what we do in our office, if there's any food, we do not throw it away inside our office. We take it and we dump it in one of these hallway garbages. So if you have like, especially stinky food or sweet foods, don't throw it away inside the Senate office. I would bring it out here and throw it away in, because the hallway ones get picked up daily. We had some turnover with custodians, so they haven't been even coming into our offices on a daily basis. So I don't know what their schedule is, but certainly if it becomes a problem, we can work with our custodial crew and ask them to go in there every day and clean up. But you are responsible for that space, so please keep it clean. Dennis?
And that would include the large bins in there currently, temporarily. I saw some food in one of them when I was checking earlier today, and it was a little stinky. So yeah, any trash in the DSG office or wherever, you know, permanent trash can or temporary, don't put food in the office.
And then the other, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think they're only scheduled once a week in like our office.
In our offices, okay, but I know they clean up every, okay, so please, if you got anything stinky or something big that's gonna, you know, fill up the garbage can, just come outside and throw it away in one of these trash bins. They're going to repaint the basement. All this, who likes this green? Nobody likes this green. They're gonna repaint over this green. I don't know what the actual color is, but I think everyone, when I came here, I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is the ugliest color combination. But apparently, I heard that it was, some students a long time ago picked that color. So anyway, they're gonna repaint this green and this awful, I don't know what you call it, red, brown, poopy color. And then they will also repaint inside I'm just gonna call it the Student Leadership Office now, okay? Since both ACC and DSAG and mentors are all in there. So we just call it the Student Leadership Office. They're gonna go in there and I've asked them to give it a fresh new coat. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but they are going to paint over that green also. But if you all have ideas, like you're like, man, we really like Office of College Life, that yellow accent wall. maybe we can ask them if you want a yellow wall or a different colored wall. So that, it does kind of have to, I think, match the carpet maybe, but yeah, we can ask if we can do a different color. Yeah, Katia?
What about the sink? Is there a possibility that something that get it replaced? Because currently the water that still got in there.
Oh.
The water coming out of the faucet.
And that's in the faucet, it's probably the faucet. but the
Maybe it
faucet-
needs like a good filter too, or maybe we need to look in the pipes and see if
Yeah, that's
something.
what's strange. Is there at least an aerator on the faucet now? Because for a while that was missing.
Yeah.
No, we have a piece of
We
paper
don't
on that
have
says
it.
don't use it.
It's literally labeled.
Can we put a request? I don't know if, okay, see, we'll get that, yeah. Yeah, definitely don't drink the water if it's, I mean, who knows what's stuck in there. Yeah, it's gross, okay. But you are all responsible for like maintaining the cleanliness of like that kitchen area and making sure like if you blow up something in the microwave, you guys clean it. Please do not burn popcorn because that smell never goes away, so. But yeah, so those are some exciting things that we're gonna be doing. I think the painting actually is gonna start very soon. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a new paint job and then we'll go in. We already have the request to do the deep cleaning. We're hoping to do it on a Friday because it'll probably need a couple days for it to air out. So we will just all let you know. And that way you know that you can't come into the leadership room because we can't have people going in there and tracking while it's, you know, airing out and drying. So any questions? No, okay, well, yeah, all right.
So for the locker that is in the DSG, you can claim one of them and then put the stuff out and put your stuff out. That's-
Yes, so there's stuff in there, go ahead and, you know, there could be stuff in there from like 6-7 years ago, because what happened was, well, this was not long ago, during the pandemic, if you all remember where you were, we were not really given a lot of notice. Well, what happened is we shut down and students were not able to come back. So some students, even though we tried to contact them, after we returned to campus we told them, come get your stuff. Some of them probably just decided at that point, it's, you know, I'm already long gone. So I know some of that stuff might be from those years, because unfortunately, we were not allowed, nobody was allowed to come back on campus, so students couldn't come and collect their belongings. So, but if there's any personal stuff, maybe like somebody's, I don't know, driver's license or a wallet, then please do, you know, report it to us, and maybe we can try to track down the person, and maybe they still want their, you know, stuff, so. Okay, but if there's no identifier, then just toss it, and I know like the ES, I don't know who's ES over here. Did you see the water bottles? There's
Yeah.
2 boxes of those. So yeah, all the good stuff, use it, and let's go ahead and like get rid of that stuff and use it for when you're doing office hours and do giveaways and or just keep it for yourself. Let's just get rid of it. Okay, anything else? Nope, all right. Okay, Dennis?
Yeah, real quick, I don't remember the number of the lockers off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't enough for everybody. Probably still the case, but I'm not positive, but just keep that in mind. So if you don't really need one, you know, maybe don't use one so that it's available for someone who really does.
Okay, that's the end of business item 3. No prospective senators, so let's get past that. Are there any public comments? On detail?
Yes, I just wanna say, I know Senate meetings might seem boring, but we don't want this like set a bad precedent for the future senators. Close your laptops for maybe just 1 hour, okay? The meeting was like 1 hour, 10 minutes. Close your laptops, remove your earphones, turn your phone down, just pay attention, okay? Do your job, thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Okay, are there any advisory announcements?
Just one very quickly, on Monday, which is October 7th, It's the 1 year anniversary of the attack on Israel. So JSU, they are our Jewish Student Union. They're a recognized ACC club. They do have a couple events planned for Monday. One is a documentary that they're going to show upstairs in conference room A from 1 to 3 p.m. and then they're going to have food. The bigger event that they're doing is they're going to do an installation. And so we just kind of worked out all the details. But they're going to install, basically they're building kind of like this box to represent a home that was bombed in Israel. And apparently that is, the story behind that is that it is now, it's kind of symbolizes hope. And someone painted, I guess, a white dove on an olive tree. So they're trying to replicate that. So that's going to be displayed in the main quad. Right next to the fountain facing the library, and then during Club Day, so Club Day is next Thursday, so don't forget. They're gonna move their installation, so that it's not in the way of Club Day. And that installation is gonna stay up there for a couple of weeks. So I just wanted to, announce that so that you're aware, in case you see the installation, you're kind of wondering, what is that? That's what that is. And then I also wanted to share with you, this is something that our president, myself, and a couple of deans have been involved in supporting JSU, but we're also reaching out to MSA, because as you know, you only have to turn on the news to hear all the travesty in the world right now. We want to make sure that we're supporting all of our students and supporting in their endeavors, programming, protesting, whatever it is that, you know, they would like to do. But I hope as student leaders, we will, you know, support all of our students and all of our communities in the best way that we can. Okay.
Are there any other advisory announcements? Okay, then I adjourn this meeting at 5:13 p.m.